All right, you want to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm Jose Rivera from the Fish and Flea Market. I own the company with my business partner, Tony Dorman. And as many of you know, the Fish and Flea Market is a group on Facebook that we turned into a website with the help of Pro Angler Hub. Jeremy here online with me today. And today we're going to talk about how to get sponsored, what you could do to get sponsored, tips and tactics to make your resumes better, your social media stuff better, branding yourself, things of that nature. I think a lot of people get confused on what they should be doing, how they should approach companies and things like that. So hopefully today we'll be able to help you out and straighten you out a little bit and put you in the right direction. We have a special guest that's going to be coming on in a few, my man Blake Smith. Blake is a FLW touring pro, and he'll be joining us in a little while. He was a big-time redfish angler. He's now fishing the FLW on the tour. So very expensive circuit to fish. So maybe he can put some insight into how to gain sponsorships, keep sponsorships, what it takes to get money from sponsors and things like that. So, but real fast about me. My name is Jose. Like I said, I own a company called Bass Fishing Media. I have a website. I get about 90,000 hits on it already. We do product reviews and things like that. I started this Facebook group called the Fish and Flea Market. I wanted to have an outlet to buy and sell a bunch of stuff I had in my basement. I got together with my buddy Tony, and we started looking for a web designer. And my man Randall Crabtree from Facebook recommended Jeremy. He did a great job. He built us an unbelievable website that has everything from buy and sell to the iMap. It's a cool interactive mapping system. There is a really great blog on there that we have anglers writing for our website. They're promoting themselves. They're endorsing their sponsors on our page. We love it. It's a great outlet. You're getting putting a lot of information out there to anglers across the country. That's it. So after setting all that up with Jeremy, he started looking at some of my other stuff that I had. I fished the FLW. I fished the railbacks, and this year I'm going to be fishing the opens. And he started to look at some of my other things that I had online. And he's like, dude, really? Like, your stuff is so bad. And thank God. It
wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad. But thank God, with his help, we started to brand myself.
Right.
Brand and started to put together a really good campaign for promoting sponsors, promoting myself, getting information out there, Jeremy could tell you a little more about, how he helped me with that, but I'm really appreciative. And so we decided to have this show today and tell you guys how it all worked out.
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, dude. You had some skill in there. Don't credit, man. That's what it was. It just needed some love, man. We needed to spice it up, but you didn't have, your angler site wasn't complete, so we ended up getting that, and it was old technology. So we got the new technology, and we did it the responsive way. So it can fit on any device. So and then built the fan page to kind of intertwine that and brand yourself, make it all match. So it came out good. I think you got a lot of love off of it. It's working for you.
Well, one of the best things I thought you did was make all my things match. I thought that was great. I had all stuff everywhere. A lot of people call me J-Riv. I had a logo made, prior to you coming along, and it's cool how all my website matches my Twitter. It matches my Instagram. People know I'm J-Riv. It's just the way it all worked out.
Right.
It all fits together. I think it's important. A lot of people don't really get when they're working with social media.
Yeah, well, it's key. I call it housekeeping is what it is because you want to make sure everything is clean and matches and just flows. When you have people come over to your house, you don't want it to be a mess and all unorganized. You got to straighten up when people come over. So that's what you do on these pages, on your Facebook page. You make it look clean and, so people, when they visit, all your about looks, your links work, it just makes you look more legit, so.
Right.
Working out for you for sure. Blake's telling me something. I gotta send him a link here in a little bit. We'll get him on.
Sure.
But let's see here.
While you're doing that, I want to thank some of my website sponsors for the Fish and Flea Market, which are Pro Angler Hub, obviously.
Yeah.
Torque Power Rods, EcoPro Tungsten, High Seas, AR Lures, iBass 360, Bass Snack. They make a really cool soft plastic. The Quit Bitchin' Coalition, TRC Covers, Black Label Plugs, and Real Time Radio. They're all sponsors on our website. They all, if you join our website, they'll give you a little discount. For most of these guys have a discount code, and they're great companies that we're glad to have them on our page.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, dude.
So tell us a little bit about what you were saying about the importance of having, all your Facebook page and, what kind of things should be on it and, the Facebook cover and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to have, your Facebook cover to match, your website and but that it fits, you got to make sure that you go to some of these pages and then, all they see is like they're cut off their head and then you can't even see the fish you're holding up. So it's just important to have that stuff legit to match. And same with your Twitter and your YouTube. But the other thing too is a good thing that we didn't even talk about real quick was the resumes, dude. I mean, that's a good vital piece of material to land some of these sponsors. And the average Joe sends in a resume and it's usually 8.5 by 11 obviously or a PDF, and it's just black and white with ink on it. And then we did yours, man. We killed it on yours. Yours came out really good. So I don't know if anybody can see this stuff, but regular black and white. I mean, that's the full color resumes of your stuff. We can't show everybody all the secrets, but just a little peek. But it came out really good. But it makes a big difference, when you send something like that in. They'll take a little more time to look at something that pops out and a little more colorful than just a black and white, resume. So. Yeah,
like when I first set I thought my original resume was good. I wrote it. It looked like, in reality, it looked like every other resume. So right. I'm glad you started doing that media kit for me. Like I even wrote to, there's a couple companies. One of them is Pure Fishing. I wrote to Pure Fishing for almost 7 years straight.
Wow.
And, I was trying to get on their team. They, they have a lot of good products, and they never took a second look at my, my resume. They must get 1,000 resumes that look like that. So when they got this one, the very next day, they contacted me the very next day, and they friend requested me on Facebook. So I'm glad before that you had already helped me out with my Facebook and my Twitter and all that stuff, and everything looked good. Mm-hmm. I pay attention. That's one thing about being sponsored. Is that if you're going to have your regular page, like your profile page, like you were saying, there's only, you told me, we were talking about this earlier today, you're only allowed a certain amount of members. Mm-hmm. So we created my athlete page. And when I post things on Facebook, I try not to post things that are offensive. I don't post, if I have a rod sponsor, I don't post giveaways from a different rod sponsor. I don't share things that aren't, that conflict with my sponsors. You got to pay attention to that, because they do look, and the fact that Pure Fishing friend requested me and went on my page and said, mm-hmm. We're looking at your Facebook, that right there says it all. They are a major company. I didn't pick them up as a sponsor yet. I'm hoping to get on their team.
Right.
But knowing that they did that makes me aware that I need to watch what I post, be myself, but watch what I post, not mm-hmm. be offensive, and be professional, and create that athletes page that we did. I love the cover that you made for me, and things like that. That stuff's real important.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but you can max out your friend list on Facebook. You get 5,000, and that's it. And so that's why they made the whole fan page, athlete page, so you can have an unlimited amount of people on there. So it's great to transition and keep your stuff kind of separate. I mean, personal, business. I mean, you can represent your companies and other stuff on your athlete page, and then keep your personal stuff. You can still share, obviously on your personal page, but it's just cool to separate it. Gives you an extra edge.
What are some of the things that people can do to, let's say they create themselves an athlete page, and they want to promote themselves and promote their sponsors and get people to the page. What are some tips and tactics that people can do to generate more traffic to their athlete page?
Well, there's a few things. One thing is to be courteous and stuff, and comment on other people's stuff as your fan page. So when people are commenting on stuff, go in there and like a message or post something. The other way to really boost it up too is those giveaways, man. Those giveaways were, especially giving away your stuff for your sponsors. your sponsors will eat that up. They love that because, one, you're giving away a product that they're selling, and it's going to link back to them. It's exposure for them, and then everybody likes free stuff. I mean, you know what I mean? So you get a chance to win something. So you can do like a like and share, and you know, just pass it on through your personal page and your fan page, and all your other groups that you're a part of. You know, you share in there. It's a good way to get traffic back to your fan page for sure.
Yeah, and I know that with Facebook, you can also pay for boosting. You could boost like certain promotions. If you're doing a giveaway, you can create an event.
Yeah, inexpensive too. I mean, you could drop $20 and then, you know, boost your post up for, and it'll even generate where, you know, people that actually like fishing, you know, the way Facebook works, it's going to be able to, you know, search through who's liking what posts, or, you know, if it was something about NASCAR, all NASCAR people would like it. You know, that's just the way that Facebook has really grown, and it helps when you know, pay for that. And it's inexpensive too, and it's a good way to boost it real quick.
Right. And, you know, when you create an event on Facebook, it's free.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So, and then, you know, like you said, you pay a couple extra dollars every month, you know, like once a week or something. And I've done that if I want, you know, to boost a certain event. You know, like I said, sponsors do look at it, and it's important to promote your sponsors and let them know that you're working for them.
Right.
So
that's good, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a definite thing that you have to do. Speaking of sponsors, I'm gonna run through something here that you know, you were talking about resumes, and can you show my my resume that you did for me there?
Yeah, sure. I'll show it again. See, let me see what it looks like here. Can you see that?
Yes.
You know, that was just kind of like the page that we created. We actually tagged your website up here, you know, stuff that you've been a part of, your achievements. And then we did, you know, the whole media kit, you know, just a little bit about you, some pictures, just made it appealing, all your information up here so everybody knows your phone number. They're going to call you in a minute. And then we tackled the whole social media, and it shows like how many people followed you right now, just basically, you know, expanding yourself out there. So these sponsors know that, you know, you're in front of everybody and sharing stuff. So that's good though.
Right. Like I can tell you this, like I contacted 4 of my sponsors prior to this, and just to ask them, you know, what they looked for in a prospect pro staffer. And EVO Fishing Technologies, they make a deep water anchor system. They're brand new. Actually, I don't even think their stuff is on the market. It'll be very, very soon. They make the X13 and the X20 deep water anchors. They go down to 13 and 20 feet. It's an unbelievable system. Can't wait to get mine and have them installed on my boat. But I contacted them today, and they said, you know, when they're looking at anglers to sponsor, they typically look for people who are respectful. So I'm assuming they would get that from your social media, who are respectful and who, you know, they want to know. I lost my train of thought. Who are respectful, and for anglers who want to be in the, you know, don't want to be in the forefront of the company, but want to actually work with the company. You know, they want somebody who's going to stand by their product and are willing to educate other people about their products, and are willing to share that passion that the actual company has about the products that they're selling. So, you know, they also said, you know, yeah, we could get a big name sponsor who would stand in the front of the company. And, you know, a lot of these big name anglers who get sponsored, a lot of times they do it for the money. And they're not really looking for that. You know, they want somebody who's going to work with them and help them grow. You know,
right.
Grassroots guys. They're not really, you know, in the need to have somebody big. And then, you know, I was talking to Lee Rogers today. He works for Eco Pro Tungsten, and, you know, the same thing. They're looking for guys who over, you said, you know, over the years of his experience, he fishes the circuit, and, you know, they can say, you know, we're looking for guys who use their products. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to, you know, apply for this company or apply for that company. They want people who are actually use their products. And that's something that's important. You shouldn't apply to a company to be sponsored if you never use their products? How can you represent somebody that you've never ever used their products? You know, you see a lot of guys too. They put on jerseys, you know, and they're not even a sponsor of that person. So why would you do that? You know, go after companies that you use. The whole idea of being sponsored is to represent the company that you're working for, because that's what you are. It's not a professional staff. It's a promotional staff. That's what pro staff means.
Right.
So you want to promote these guys. So get together with companies that you believe in their product and that you want to work for. It saves you money if it's not a monetary sponsorship. It's a product sponsorship. You get a discount or you get free products or whatever it may be. It's still money to you because it's money you're not spending for that product.
Yeah.
So don't go after companies where you're not getting where you don't use their products. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's good stuff, dude, right there. And I'm sure we're about to get Blake on here. I'm sure he can go in some detail too on some sponsorships and stuff and some key things. Sure. But I'll go ahead and send him in here so we can get rolling. Unless you want to do a giveaway real quick. Don't you have something to give away?
I got a couple things to give away.
All right.
Well, what we're gonna do is, if you like and share this broadcast on your Facebook page, we're gonna go back and look. Tag us in it, Jose Rivera, or you can go to the Fish and Flea Market or Pro Angler Hub. Tag us in it, so we can go back and see that you shared and liked our broadcast. And we are gonna pick at the end of the show somebody to win 2 packs of Bass Snack baits. It's a great company. Cool. The plastics feel awesome. They're nice and soft. I like it. Here's their tube, and here's their this is called their Trick Stick in the black and blue flake. And this tube color is green pumpkin copper. I've caught fish on this. Haven't got to use this much. It was already cold when I got this, and haven't been fishing too much in this area. But as soon as the spring hits, I'll be getting out with some of these. Bass Snack, you can check them out on Facebook and on their website. And we'll be giving these away at the end of the show.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, looks like Mr. Captain Blake Smith with us. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
Doing good, man.
Good.
So
now, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Let's see.
So we were touching Blake here. He fishes the FLW tour. He's gonna be his first year, right? Fishing it.
Second year.
Second year. My bad. Second year fishing it. And we were, we know that you were just in the process of getting sponsors and stuff like that. So we were just kind of hoping you could touch base on, maybe give the guys some tips and tactics on what they could do to help them gain and keep sponsors, and maybe a little bit about how you went from redfish to the bass circuit.
Right. Yeah. Awesome, man. We could probably sit here for 4 hours, which I don't want to put anybody through that. But the biggest thing is stay marketable. If I get emails daily, weekly, monthly, all the time talking about, what do I got to do? What is the next step? What do I need to do to get more sponsors? What do I need to do to move on from the discounted sponsors to the product sponsors to the getting paid sponsors? And our sport is an expensive sport. It's the only professional sport that you got to pay to play. So when you get to, no matter what level it is, whether it is red fishing or bass, FLW, bass elites, whatever, when you're at the highest level, we're still paying. There's some form of ownership that you have to take in this sport in order to keep going. And whether it is you're paying monetarily, or you're paying because of the time that you have to spend away from your families, or you have to just invest in these companies. A lot of these companies, most of them generally, are not gonna just dump their wallets out because you're so and so and you've won a high level tournament. It just doesn't work that way. There's a few that in order to get recognition, they jump on the winning bandwagon, but generally it's a product thing. Fishing is a big business. I tell a lot of people, in 2011, freshwater fishing was a $54 billion company, or $1 billion business nationwide. There are more people that fish than attend all of the Major League Football, the NFL football teams, or football games, in the United States. So when you're talking big business, fishing is huge, and it's such a platform and such an amazing area to invest your time and energy and focus, and it's fun. That's if you don't enjoy doing it, you don't need to be doing it.
Right.
It's definitely something that you've got to grow every day and continue to love. And but as for sponsors, the biggest thing is start small. I remember, I mean, I've been competitive fishing for a long time, and for years, I started out just like anybody else. I got discounts, and it was awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, because a dollar saved is a dollar earned. If you can keep a dollar in your pocket because you saved a little bit of money here and there by not having to pay full price for a tungsten, whether it's a $10 tungsten and you're only paying $5, I mean, that's $10 that would have been out of your pocket, and you're putting an extra $5 back in. So, do not shy away from the product discounts. And for some people, that's huge. And the longer you're with companies, or the longer that you are invested in companies, the longer that they're going to invest in you. So remain marketable. I think I'm watching you guys earlier. You were talking about having a good look or a good presence on your social media, having a good appearance on your stage presence. That's so huge. A lot of people don't realize that, but when I do a lot with like junior Bassmasters or any of the junior programs, or the biggest thing that I tell them is, hey, you need to utilize whatever seconds or whatever minutes that you get on stage in order to give credit where it's due with your sponsors. And that's more of a bass side than it is a redfish side. A lot of the times that in lower level tournaments, you go up there and you shake a hand, they get a check, and you leave. But like on tour, I try and use every second that I'm on stage to put off a good performance, to give a good show, because it is a show to an extent, but also to to kind of give credit to the sponsors that are due. Especially you start down the list of the sponsors that have invested the most into you, and then I kind of work my way back down the list, but also giving credit to the ones that, to me, a company that gives me $1,000, and I know that they're not $1 million company a year, a company that says, hey, all I can do is $1,000 this year, and I know that their net worth is not that high. They're a startup company. They might sell $20,000 worth of materials, but they gave me $1,000 for the first year. Then I know that that's somebody I really need to give a lot of credit to and a lot of acclamation to, because it's important. I started small, they started small, everybody starts small at some point, unless you win the lottery, I guess, or something. But for the most part, is try and give credit where it's due, have a good stage presence. But then, your social media is become key. Back in the day, remember, all that we had was your stage presence, and MySpace. I forgot about that. Oh wow. Yeah, that was. I think I was in middle school when MySpace came around. So
that's funny. I remember in MySpace you could blink out or pimp out your page. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. Had some Puff Daddy playing in the background and all that.
That's funny.
But every day you have to be kind of forming to what's going on. Whether it's a new social media platform that's going, like now we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Periscope, Foursquare. You've got all of these different things, and you want to make sure that you're up to date on them, because you've got to find the different routes to get to the different people.
Right.
Sponsors look at that. I feel like that one of the best relationships I've built in the past couple of years is the relationship with Jeremy with Pro Angler Hub, because of the platform that it helps you build. Like, you need to be the whole package. There's a lot of people that say, I'll never forget, a couple months, man, I was doing a seminar at Bass Pro Orlando, and a guy came up to me. He's like, Blake, I don't understand. I've won two tournaments, and I've placed in 1,000 more. I'm a rock star. I don't understand why people don't want me. And but he has no presence at all. And if that's all you are, remember, you've got to be rounded. I mean, FLW posted the 4 C's. Being able to be competitive, being able to be confident, being able to be just a good all-around package, because that's what sponsors are going to look for.
Right.
They want somebody that could talk the talk, walk the walk, and tell everybody about it and how to walk themselves, because that's going to be what helps promote their products. Now, there's some products out in the industry that really don't need promoted. And when I say that, I'm in all honesty, certain things promote themselves. Like these day and time, let's talk about power pole. Power Pole has been one of my sponsors for 5 years. They've been around forever. You know, Power Pole is Power Pole. They're worldwide. I mean, they don't really need anybody promoting them. So to go to them and say, listen, I'm Joe Flo, I need $1 million because I am somebody to promote the product, they'll say, well, everybody's going to use this anyway, so that's cool. You know, so you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot right off the get-go. Ranger boats, Triton boats, Bass Cat boats, Phoenix boats, all these different companies. Remember, these are every time a picture is taken of any pro, these pictures are getting in there, and it's free marketing to them no matter what. So,
right.
You know, you just need to be limited. You don't want to go out and ask for the world, but you don't want to set yourself short either.
Right.
When dealing with any company. But remember, certain products do promote themselves, and staying well-rounded. Those are super key. You know, for me, I've owned companies before, like soft plastic companies and things like that. And for me, if somebody was to come up to me and ask, hey, can I get, you know, I want to be on your pro staff. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? You know, talk to me a little bit and tell me what your thoughts are about being on my pro staff. And the biggest thing is, what I'm doing is I want to find out kind of where they stand, you know, what they want to do, what their goals are, how they're going to help me as a company to grow. But at the same time, it's a character thing. You know, if I'm dealing with any type of sponsors or companies and things like that, you know what, most of the time I go on their site and I look. You know, if there's too much skin hanging out, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't take that. Like, that's not who I am. I mean, for those of you that know me, I'm a very strong, moral-based guy. Like, my goal is I give credit to God everywhere it's due, and that's my #1 priority. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't do any of this. So why be any different with your sponsors? You know, don't sell yourself short. If you're going to a sponsor just to get a sponsor, that's cool. But, you know, don't link up with something just because you're trying to get an extra cash in your pocket, but you're selling your soul to be able to do it. So.
Right.
You know, a lot of people hear all the positives about, hey, you know, oh, I'm just going to get this sponsor, I'm going to get this sponsor and this sponsor. But sometimes you actually get a decision, you know, hey, is this something I want to be a part of, or is this not something I want to be a part of? And you know, so don't ever do anything that would cause you to, I don't know, jeopardize your character, jeopardize your morals, jeopardize the value that you have in yourself and your family, and my wife and my girls as well.
Right. Something you touched on about contacting sponsors. Like I know, like Lee Rogers from EcoPro was saying to me today that he when he gets a letter from somebody that says, you know, I want to be sponsored. This is what I want from you. This is the percentage I want, or this is the money I want.
Right.
He said, I take that, throw it right in the garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of guys don't really realize that, you know, they get thousands and thousands of resumes. People ask for, before people buy stuff, they ask to be on your pro staff. So that's what I was trying to say earlier about, you know, approach companies that you use their products you believe in, like you were saying earlier, you know, have some morals, you know, and going for companies that you use to save money in your pocket, but then you also have confidence, you believe in the product, so it's easy for you to talk about the product.
Right,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys, if you think about it, think about how many fishermen there are and how many people are fishing tournaments in general. There's thousands. I mean, it's worldwide. I mean, I would venture to say 100,000 or more people are fishing tournaments on any given year. And, you know, and they're all wanting the same things. They all want to make it to the next level. They will do anything to make it to the next level. And, you know, for the most part, most of them anyway, because there's some guys that are just happy getting out on the weekend and fishing local tournaments, and that's it. But the biggest thing with me is all of these companies that are fishing-related companies, you've got to realize that they are inundated on a daily basis with pro staff people that feel like that they're the next Kevin Van Dam, and in all honesty, that's those days. And I'll say it, and I'm gonna say it here on nationally, but those days are over. You know, there's never going to be another Kevin Van Dam, you know, ever. You know, we can all strive to be that, but the idea is marketing. You know, this is a business. This is a business from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed, and making yourself marketable and setting yourself apart is the key. And, you know, for that, and talking to Jeremy, you know, the best way to set yourself apart is your appearance. Your appearance is key. Just like he said, do your house cleaning. Make sure it's presentable when people come in. Well, the biggest thing too is I want people to know what I'm about, where I am, what I'm doing, what I'm involved in, or, you know, it is such a huge part, whether it's on my pro page, whether it's on my website, whether it's on my Twitter headline or my Instagram or all these different things. You want people to know right off the get-go what you are, what you stand for, and what you're about. And that is 100% huge. And you know what? That's one thing that Jeremy is bringing to the stage. It's, you know, with Pro Angler Hub, is giving people the ability to see it, to become that package that a sponsor wants to see. That's a lot cleaner than them just going to your Facebook and looking at the private conversations that you're having with all your buddies and things like that. Because, you know, the biggest thing is you want to grab somebody's attention. You know, whether it's you want to set yourself apart, grab their attention, and then make them invest in you by looking a little bit deeper into what you're about. And that's something that even a Facebook header does, because it causes them to grab it and say, oh, hey, I need to know a little bit more about what this guy's doing, because it looks legit, it looks official, and they can dig a little bit deeper. You know, so many people, they go to their website and the first thing they see is, hey man, I didn't catch anything on that lure this weekend, and it was garbage. You know, I lost 300 fish on it. Man, don't ever buy one of them. They're stupid. Like, I hate them. They're horrible. I don't care if it's your worst lure in your box. If you're bashing people, man, you don't have any right to be on anybody's pro staff. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's even you've got to be so careful, because it makes it very, very difficult to set yourself apart. And one way to do that, just stay positive. You know, if you got a company paying you $100,000 a year to fish the Bass Elites or the FLW Tour, and then the next day they call you and they say, hey, Blake, we're filing for bankruptcy, we can't do it, or so and so, we can't afford to do that this year because, you know, the economy's down, and that's proven. You know, you can't go on there 5 seconds later and be like, man, that company stinks. You know, they're garbage. Their products are garbage. They're garbage. Everybody's garbage. You can't do that. You know, the biggest thing is making sure that you got a clean palate every single day when you head out. And you know, start from the bottom, work your way up in with sponsors, and you'll be golden.
Is there any tips you can give for people who are just starting out, who are approaching companies, and they want to put together a resume, you know, or, you know, go to Jeremy and get like a media kit put together, stuff they could put in their resume that would help them along?
You know what? One of the biggest things I always, and one of my pet peeves is, don't be something that you're not. First of all, you know, I constantly see guys that they got 300 logos all over their jersey, and they've never had a conversation with one of them, which is a big pain in the rear for people that make a living doing it, like myself, because it's free advertising. You know, sure. This is a business. It's a business from the marketing side. It's a business from the fisherman side. It's a business. It's all a business, and we wouldn't be having this conversation today. You know, we'd be talking about tips and techniques on how to get you know, green fish to eat. But you know, for this is, remember, it's a business. Don't sell yourself short, but don't overextend yourself either. You know, the biggest thing would be, if you're starting out, and I know we probably have some kids watching this, and we've got some younger guys and some guys that are truly trying to make it up to the top. My first thing would be, like, you know, do not hesitate to talk to these companies, and the first thing you say to them is, listen, this is what I'm about, here's what I'm involved in, and here's how I plan to help you market your company. And you're going to have, it's going to go a long way. They might offer you a discount the first year. That's cool. Yes. That's awesome. You know what? Because then you're not paying full retail for that product, and you can get, you know, half off, or 30% off, or 40% off, or 80% off. That's awesome, because that's still them investing in you a little bit, because they have faith in you that if we let you have a discount, we're not making the entire retail value. I mean, we're not making the difference between wholesale and retail on this product to you.
Right.
So, you know, don't cut somebody short, especially if you're an up-and-coming angler. And then I would say, you know, work your way up from there. You know, try and establish some relationships. Get out. Go out and do some product placement places. You know, go and do any type of, go to your local Bass Pro or your local Dick's or your local Sports Authority or any of these places and say, hey, I am so-and-so. I'm a BFL guy, or I'm a Rayovac guy, or I'm a junior Bassmaster guy. Do you mind if I do a fishing seminar in your establishment, like maybe 3 Fridays from now, and I'll publish it myself. I'll promote it, and, you know, just bring people into your store. I did that. You know, I've been doing fishing seminars since I was 6. I mean, which is crazy. But I was fly fishing as a kid, and I started fly fishing back in, oh man, from the time I fly fished before I conventional fished, and my dad was in all of these places doing fly fishing seminars, so I'd be over there casting at 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, and then I set 2 IGFA world records when I was 13 or 12 and 13, and from there it was, you know, do as many things as I could do to try and get to people. I had no idea about sponsors and things like that. Right. I just wanted to help people, you know, help people learn how to fish, help them to learn how to get better at what they're doing. Yeah. So try and get involved as much as you can. Do not be afraid to take some of these sponsors that are giving you 25% off, half off. If you're not paying $60,000 to fish a year like we are, then man, half off is cool. You know, that's absolutely cool. And then as you get higher into the industry and as you get higher in the you know, dealing with these sponsors, then work your way up. But ideally, I would say take your sponsors that have invested the most into you, the ones that give yourself a limit and say, hey, if they gave me this, then they can go on my jersey. If they've given me this, then I will put them on my background for Facebook, or my header for Twitter, or my header for whatever the social media platform is that you're on, and you know, and work your way up there. You don't. The biggest thing for me is you don't want to put sponsors all over all of your stuff if you're really not a true of them.
Right.
Just because it doesn't look good for you, and what it does is a sponsor sees that and they'll be like, huh, why do I got to give him anything? We've gotten all this promotion for free, and some of them might be honorable and say, hey, thank you so much for your support for the past 2 years or year. In return, we're going to send you $100 for the product or $200 for the product, or even start giving you more of a discount than what we were presently giving you. So
right. Hey, Blake, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's a good question by James Bell. He wanted to know, where would a co-angler start to look for sponsors? Would it be the same as a boat angler, or is there a difference?
You know what? All of it's the same. You know, how you start depends on, you know, a co-angler for that matter. I've got buddies, I got some younger friends that are co-anglers. What I do is I like to take it as a whole, like what my season is going to cost me. You know, if my season's going to cost me $60,000, like for the FLW Tour, our entry fees are $27,000 for this year.
Wow.
I know that I've got to have $27,000 for just my entry fees. That's not my travel. That's not my expenses. That's not my food. That's not diapers for all my kids while we're on tour. You know, that's strictly my entry fees while we're gone. So for me, the biggest thing is, you know, what is it going to cost me as a whole to fish this season? Then start breaking that down. You know, if I've got so many companies paying me, then, you know, then I can kind of figure out where my breakdown is for that year. But now as a co-angler, it's the same. You know, you don't have the gigantic entry fees like that you would have in other tours. But then what I start figuring, if I was a co-angler, how much money am I spending on baits? Like, let's say that I was spending, I don't know, $15 per tournament on robo worms because I'm throwing drop shots off the back of the boat every day or something, you know. Well, then I know that that's a cost that I'm going to have to spend every single day is $15. So if I can find a company to say, hey, I'll give you a $15 gift card to my company, well, there you go. I know that that holds weight because that is money that I would have to pay out of my pocket. So in return, it's money that's invested towards me. So yeah, that would be, as a co-angler, that would be like a $15 gift card would be like a $250 financial donation to me as a pro.
You know, and to add to what you're saying is, it doesn't matter if you're a boater or if you're a co-angler, all this applies. It's all the same. You know, you still have to do the same thing. You have to represent yourself properly. You should, you know, approach people that you use, the products that you use, and the big thing is like representing yourself properly. It doesn't matter if you have a boat or if you don't have a boat. Companies want to look at what you're doing, what you could do for them, because that's what it's really about. If you could sell their products, and if you believe in their products. So if you do that, it doesn't matter if you have a boat or not.
Right. That's good stuff. Hey, Jose, we need to. Don't you got something else you want to give away?
I do.
Well, I was thinking maybe we could put Blake on the spot here, and maybe he can ask a question. If somebody can answer it, we'll just give it to that person.
There you go.
How about that, Mr. Blake?
Okay.
Are you thinking of something?
Any question, right?
Yeah, maybe you got some fans out there that follow you. They can ask a question about you, or you can go something random. It's your show, buddy.
All right.
While you're thinking, this is what we're going to give away. This is a gear grabber.
Nice.
It's from Magnetic Marine Products. And what you do is you hang it in your, if you have a John boat or if you have room in your bass boat, you can hang lures on it. You can attach your pliers to it. You're not going to get, actually this one, it's going to come in an expo bag. I'm keeping this one. But you'll get the same product in an expo bag, and it's gorgeous. You'll love this product. It's absolutely the best.
Nice. You know, I actually have that product, and I don't rep them at all, but I do use the product, so which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So, okay, let's think of a question. You know, for me on tour, out of all of the pros in the industry, there's something that's different about me in the boat that I use compared to everybody else. This is different.
Oh, I know this one.
Hold your horses. Hold your horses. All right. So, what is the difference between my boat that I use on tour and the other 154 FLW Tour pros?
Wow, that's a good one. This may take this. We'll have to come back to that answer.
If not, I get the gear grabber. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's happening.
I'll send you one, buddy.
Good deal.
You know, they just sold their licensing to TH Marine.
Oh, I think everybody
product.
sold to TH Marine.
Yeah. Yeah, they also make another cool product. It goes inside of your underneath your lids. It's called a lure hanger kit. I don't know if you ever saw that. Yep. They're pretty awesome too. Yeah.
And they just sold the what was it called? They sold something else. Something big happened this week. That was one other product. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, there was another huge product that went to TH Marine this week.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like they're buying up the whole industry, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they sell some good stuff.
Sounds like the Bass Pro monopoly is happening on TH Marine. So.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have to think about that answer from Blake, you're more than welcome to post it on our Facebook page when you come up with the answer. And
or they can actually type it right there in the.
Or you can type it. Yeah, you can type it right in the chat box on YouTube also. If we don't have an answer for it, we will go back to it.
I was trying to figure out how it worked, but let's see. Oh, here we go. Boom! I just posted something on there. That's pretty cool.
I think somebody asked a question. Blake, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think somebody else just asked a question for you. I think it was James. Did he? No. Oh, he's talking about the drop shot.
Okay.
All the way from back of the boat. Oh, I guess he's the one that's a co-angler. So he was talking about drop shotting from the back of the boat. I guess the difference from the front of the boat, as in I guess the depth finders up front, you don't get to see what's going on. I'm sure.
Right. You know, I mean, drop shot is that's a key bait, and I didn't know we were talking about baits today, but for me, it's a good limit grabber. You know, if I've got fish that are being finicky, I always try and have a drop shot ready just in case, because I can flick it out there and it's real subtle, and it's something that it makes it easier to grab 5 fish real quick. You know, a really good example of that is if you go to flwoutdoors.com, Brad Knight actually has a walkthrough of his drop shot technique that he utilized to win the Forrest Wood Cup. So, and he doesn't hold back any secrets. It's a pretty awesome review on what he does. So, check that out. He's a great guy, and I think that if you're trying to learn how to drop shot, whether it's the back or the front of the boat, Brad Knight's review on FLW Outdoors would definitely be a really good place to start.
Nice. Did Slaw here give us an answer there, Jeremy?
Blake, can you see the comment?
I can't see anything. So they've got me on lockdown over here.
I'm doing something right now. Read it real quick, Jose.
Sure. It says it has a rubber flooring rather than carpet. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saltwater background. Okay, we got some winner.
There's a winner right there. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually use the 520 just like all the other guys, but mine is the Z520C Intracoastal. So the difference is my boat has a lot of stainless steel components, but also they've taken off all the normal carpeting, and it's a 5mm Syntec foam. So it's a really awesome boat. I can use it in fresh, salt, whether I'm chasing bass one day and redfish the next. It gives me the opportunity to do both. So it's a really cool boat.
Who won that? Who got that right, Jose?
I was Slaw. Yeah, Blake did. It was Slaw 03 85.
Oh, that's Mr. Cole. I know Mr. Cole. Good job, Cole. Give him a
Well,
shout.
have him send you his address, and
Yeah, I
I'll
will
get
do
this
that.
over to him.
Rich just commented on there. Says, "Great job, guys. Very informational. Very good." He said,
Rich? I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
"Yeah, okay. Rich is on. What's up, Rich?"
Rich runs our he runs the pro staff for the Fish and Flea Market, the riders, which is another great thing. Like if you're looking to get sponsored and you want to get your name out there, like on the Fish and Flea Market website, I have some riders, and they can promote their sponsors. They can talk about different fishing techniques, and Rich runs that whole pro staff. He also runs the Real Deal Fishing Show, which it's like airs on a local channel in New Jersey, and he has a really cool YouTube channel. You should check it out, the Real Deal Fishing Show. Rich is a great guy. What's up, buddy, Rich?
Yeah, he is. He's a good dude.
So does anybody else have any questions that they think would be I don't know, fun to talk about? We can talk about anything.
Yeah, let's do that.
We've covered everything when it comes to sponsorships. So everybody should be done. They should all have $100,000 contracts by tomorrow.
That's it.
That's it. Money in the bank.
Yeah, deal. Done deal.
Well, while we're waiting on the question, Blake, real quick, I wanted to hear. I haven't heard the whole story about, but can you real quick talk about that whole transition from that whole redfish tour you did? You pretty much conquered that, didn't you? And then you did, and then didn't you? That's how you got your invite to FLW, because you shine so much over there on that tour.
Oh no, there's no shining. There's no shining. You know what? I grew up bass fishing, and so I was very, very, very fortunate to get to live in a place like Central Florida, where it's the home of the beast. I mean, my largest bass was almost 16 pounds, and
Wow.
caught it actually at Disney World. So don't tell anybody. Hopefully this isn't live. Yeah. So then my dad is a fishing captain. I was a fishing captain, and my brother-in-law is a fishing captain. I mean, it kind of runs deep in our family, and for us, having the opportunity to be so close to both fresh and salt water at the same time was definitely a huge thing. Being able to be as universal as possible, be in the flats one day and be back fishing, lakes, Kissimmee, Toho Chain, whatever, has always been an availability there for us. But for me, when I decided to start fishing, it was kind of, hey, which market did I have the best grasp of? And one of them, I was bass fishing for a long time, but to be able to go do redfish, to me, it was a lot more intriguing. I needed the difference in tournaments is separated instead of pounds by ounces or hundredths of ounces or tenths of ounces. So it's a little bit more, to me, it's a little bit more challenging than the bass side. Not to mention the fish are just insane. I mean, they fight harder than bass. I mean, a 9-pound redfish compared to a 9-pound bass is not even, it's night and day. And it's really, really an awesome thing. And so I got into redfishing with the IFA Redfish Tour, which is a great grassroots redfish tour. Kind of get your feet wet, but at the same time, it's really an awesome thing to be a part of. And it's a team tour. Started doing extremely well in that. I think last year we finished 4th in one side of the state and 3rd in the other. No, 4th in one side and 5th in the other for team of the year. And then I got the invite to go fish in the Lucas Oil Pro-Am. Lucas Oil Pro-Am a couple years ago was the only professional redfish trail out there. It was sponsored by Ranger. It was a huge event, nationally televised on NBC Sports. Actually got the invite. I was on the waiting list to become a pro on that. It was something Megan and I prayed because we really, really wanted to be a part of it. And something happened catastrophic. It was like a hurricane or tornado or something caused one of the pros to have to go home back to Texas. And they called me and they said, "Hey Blake, do you think that you could come fish the tournament? How far away are you? You fish it as a pro." First of all, I was extremely terrified because I'm like, man, to make that kind of a leap, first thing, this quick is kind of a big deal. I said, I can be there in an hour and 45 minutes. And we got there, and it was captain's meeting. I remember, I'll never forget, I was 7 minutes late. It was raining. In the process of me rigging the boat, Megan's packing diaper bags and getting everything ready, and we were on the road heading down there. And when I got there, my my co-angler for the next day was Jeff Watkins, really cool kid. He's actually a firefighter down in Punta Gorda now, and I told him, I said, hey, I've got some stuff up north, I've got some stuff further south. I said, right here, we're kind of in the mix. And so we headed out the next day, with no pre-fishing whatsoever. And at the end of the first day, I was 1/100th of an ounce out of first place going into day two. Day two had NBC Sports on the boat. It was epic. Caught fish, had a great time. Ended up 5th overall in the tournament, my very first pro tournament I ever fished. And after there, it was kind of catapult. I got an invitation to go back. Also got some opportunities to start some communications with Ranger boats at the particular time. I was with Hughes at the time, using the flats boats, style boats, for all my fishing. Then we started traveling with the tour, and after that, the history kind of said itself. I never finished worse than 8th place. God gave me an amazing gift to be able to do that type of fishing all over the South United States, whether it was in the Carolinas, Florida, Louisiana, or wherever. I was just blessed, and it was all strategically placed, I know, by him, not myself, in order to make it happen. And then when I got the invite to kind of make that transition over into the bigs on the freshwater side, it was terrifying. And you know what we said? He said, if God wants us to do it, then he's got to make it happen, because it's such an expense. It's such a big platform to try and take on. Before that, my season might have cost me $12,000-$15,000, and then to jump into a tour that's
$60,000. That's a big reach.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
We got another Blake. I didn't mean to cut you off. We got another question, but
the question from Keith.
Yeah,
right?
It was how would you pitch sponsors outside the fishing industry? And before you answer that, I wanted just to comment real quick on Alexa's comment. She says, who and where can I contact to help my brother organize his sites and approach? You can contact me at proanglerhub.com.
That guy.
And this guy here, and we can take care of you for sure. So just hit me up on proanglerhub.com, or on Facebook, ProAnglerHub, or you can even email info@proanglerhub.com. But Blake, the question again from Keith was, how would you pitch a sponsorship outside the fishing industry?
You know what? That's huge, and I love that you brought that up. And this is Keith, you said? Is that what his name was?
I believe so. Is that right?
Yeah, Keith.
Keith. Okay, cool. Well, Keith, the biggest thing is thinking outside the box, which it sounds like you're already doing. Getting outside the fishing industry sometimes is the best bet that you can make. Like we said earlier when Jose was talking about, these sponsors getting thousands of letters in a year, and it's true. You've got a giant industry packed with very, very few sponsors, because a lot of companies just haven't taken grasp on the fact that this is such a huge industry to be a part of, and can be such a catapult to any business. But if I was approaching a company that was outside the fishing industry, first of all, I'd want to know what my involvement with that company is. Is it a gas station that I go to every other day when I'm on my way to work, or is it a place where I buy my vehicles, or is it somebody that does work on my boat, or what it is? It could be anything, but you want to find out what your level of involvement is. It's not, before I talk to anybody, I don't cold call. I hate cold calling. Just like in any sales job in the world, I don't like to just call somebody out of the blue and say, hey, send me $100, or send me $1,000, or $20,000. It doesn't go over well. So what I want to find out is, what is my involvement with their company? How am I connected? And who do I need to talk to? What is the person that I need to talk to? Because, let's say I call an insurance company, and I talk to the front desk lady, and I say, hey, my name is Blake, I need $100 because y'all are awesome, and I want you to sponsor me for $100. It usually doesn't work that way. There's usually 2 or 3 people ahead of her that are the ones that you need to talk to, and the best thing to do would be like, hey, my name is Blake. I'd love to come out and sit and talk to whoever's responsible for your marketing, because I think that would I think I have something to offer you in an industry that is huge. So that would probably be my first step on talking to anybody outside the industry.
Right. I agree with that. Just like my local insurance company, they sponsored me last year. And it was a monetary sponsorship. And I've been with them for a long time. And like you just said, I called and I spoke to the actual owner, explained who I was, I told him how long I was a customer. I wasn't asking for a lot. You know, I didn't give him a number. I just said, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is what I could do for you, you know, and what do you think? He was actually mad because he said, oh, man, if you would have called, he said, I give to all these little teams. He said, I probably would have given you more money if you would have called me earlier. I guess, you know, certain times of the year, these companies do their budget. And, you know, I think that some companies do their budget in August, I heard. Other you know, I don't really know. So if you're going to approach somebody that is a company, you should find out when they do their budget for the year. Because they do it before the year, most of these companies. Right. And that's when you want to get in there and say, hey, well, this is what, you know, I would like to be sponsored by you. This is what I could do for you. And maybe you can end up with a decent amount of money from them, or a discount, or, you know, something along those lines.
Yeah, the biggest thing, a lot of these companies, they do it before their Q4, before their fourth quarter. You know, if you can send them something all, you know, until you're blue in the face in January, February, March, stuff like that, but in all actuality, they've been done with their budgets for 6 months. So, you know, timing is everything. You know, if you came to me and asked me for $100 right now, I might not have it. But if you come and ask me for $100 when I just got paid, or if I just won a tournament, or if I just placed in a tournament, I'll have it, you know. So same thing for them. At the end of their fiscal year, right before the end of it, is when they usually say, hey, this is how much money we made this year. You know, what can we do for next year? So, you know, that's your best time, is towards the end of the year, is usually, without giving out all the tricks of the trade.
Right. That's awesome. Any other questions?
I don't know. Let me go back here and pan through. We just did a roll call, and we had people let everybody know where they're from. Jose, if you want to go through there and shout out their names and let them know where they're from, would be good.
Sure. Let's scroll back here.
I'm from Florida. I'm Blake from Florida.
I'm from Pennsylvania. We have Slaw here, Cole from Kentucky. We have Keith here, Mississippi. We have my buddy Josh is on here. He's from Maryland. Alexis from mid-Michigan. Oh, is there like a, we could explain that one, Alexis. And then we have James Bell from Alabama, Dirty South.
The Dirty South.
That's right. I think that's it, right? And then you got your brother here is from Alabama.
Well, he's from here, Houston, Texas, where I stay, but he lives in Alabama right now. Not too long, but he'll be there for a few years.
That's too funny. Well, Blake, we want to hold you up, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Good deal.
We really, really appreciate it. Very informative, and I learned some things. I'm sure everybody else did, and
absolutely.
You know, it was awesome having you here. We really appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate y'all having me. Like I said, check out the fishing flea market. You know, y'all got something huge going on. I'm excited to be a part of the kind of the grassroots of fishing flea market, which is exciting. But also, you know what? We're talking. You know, we're on here talking about sponsorships, making yourself look good. Check out Pro Angler Hub. You know, talk to Jeremy. There's nothing that can replace looking good to your sponsors for a first impression. You know, so make sure that you're doing that. Check out, you know, ask Jeremy for his phone number. I don't know if you're going to give that out on here, or if they want to go to proanglerhub.com or check you out on your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of those things. You know, make sure that you're doing that, because that is the ticket. Honestly, when somebody says that's the meal ticket, I mean, that is truly the meal ticket, is making yourself look good, being approachable, and having something that is unique to you. You know, don't sell yourself short. Keep your morals high. Keep your character high. And most importantly, don't do anything that's going to bring any of those down. So God bless. Thank you for having me on the show.
You
no
too,
problem.
man. Thanks a lot.
Blake. We'll talk to you later, bud.
See ya.
Yeah, good show, man. I'm glad he came on. He's a lot of great advice there.
Yeah, dude, Blake's awesome, man. I love that dude. We always get on the phone and chit-chat, and he cracks me up, man. He's got an idea, then I'll be like, okay, I got this, and then we'll knock it out real quick, and I'll send it to him. He's like, that's awesome, dude. That's so epic. And he's all like, hey, let's add this to it. And I'm like, oh, man, that's epic. Let's do that. So he just fires me up, motivates me. Just solid dude, man.
Right. Before we get off, I want to read a couple things that some of the sponsors did write in and to say what they look for when they get resumes sent to them. Just so guys know, I know we touched on it a little bit, but these guys they took the time to send some things in, so I kind of want to just go over it really fast.
Sure.
EcoPro Tungsten was saying, like when you write to them, not to set, like anybody, not just to them, but don't set demands in your intro letter. You know, like I'm looking for a 50% discount, or I want money. You know, he was saying that those emails he doesn't even look at. That most anglers have to realize that when you have to earn your spot on their team. You know what I mean? It's just not given. Prove yourself, prove to be an asset, and the rewards will follow as you grow with that company. You know, I am the pro staff director for Torque Power Rods, which is, you know, one of my biggest sponsors. I love Torque Power Rods. They're a great company. And, you know, John, the owner, gave me kind of rule over that whole pro staff team. You know, we do a lot of things together, but he has total trust in me, and I appreciate John. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when somebody writes a resume to him or I, you know, it's the kind of the same thing that that Lee Rogers was saying from Eco Pros, that, you know, if you're calling just saying I want a free rod, or I want this, or I want that, nobody really wants to read those resumes. You know what I mean? They want to know, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. I'll go to local tackle shops, I'll do seminars, you know, I'll promote you, I'll put you on my jersey. They want to know what you're going to do for them. So, and that's pretty much the main thing that you'll get from every single sponsor that you write to. What can you do for me? That's what they want to know. And,
right.
And so have that together in your resume. Know what you're going to say. Don't be generic. You know, write to each sponsor individually. Don't have like a generic resume that you just send out to everybody. You know, be specific to that particular company. Mm-hmm. You know, and call them, keep in touch, follow up, let them know you have a real interest. You know, go to you, get a media kit put together for yourself. That really helped me. Mm-hmm. I'm not just saying it to be saying it. It really did help me a lot. You know, like I said, I have sponsors looking at me that never looked at me before, because my resume now stands out.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It really does.
It really does.
I mean, I had a few clients that, you know, sent me their black and whites, and then we redid them and spiced them up. And then next thing I get a phone call, and this is the best feeling. Like, dude, I just landed this guy. You know, I've been trying to land him for a long time, and they love the resume. So, I mean, you can spice it up and make it look good. It's just eye-catching, and it helps, you know. It really does.
It really is. Like Rich just said online here, we're going to be at the Garden State Outdoor Expo. It's January 7th through the 10th. It's in Edison, New Jersey. So if you're in the area, stop by. I have a booth there. The Fish and Flea Market's going to have a booth there. Myself and my business partner, Tony Dorman's going to be there. Right next to us is going to be Rich and Bill from the Real Deal Fishing Show. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about getting sponsored, about fishing, about joining our websites, about anything, YouTube, you know, shows, and whatever you want to talk about, we'll be there. We'd be happy, you know, to talk to you. Just stop by, and that's it.
That's good. I wish I could be there. Man, that's a long way for me, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man.
I mean, I could ride my bicycle, but, man, that'd be a long haul.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a couple seminars there. You know, the staff is going to be, we're going to have a couple guys on the pro staff there. They're going to be doing seminars at the tank. They have the big fish tank trough there, and they have a back room. I'm going to be giving a seminar on tournament tactics. There's going to be seminars on how to fish different baits, jerk baits and spinner baits, and so it'll be a nice show. You might as well come on out, and it's going to be a good weekend.
Awesome, dude. All right, man, that's good.
It's good. I want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, check out proanglerhub.com and thefishandfleamarket.com. Any questions, catch us on Facebook, email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you, and thanks for tuning in. And
yeah, Jose, real quick, I think we're gonna do something next week too, aren't we?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna try to make this a weekly show. So tune in next week. We'll be posting things on Facebook, and you know, don't think because the seminar is over that you can't keep asking questions. You know, feel free to contact us online.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, you too, man. Nice seeing you.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, take care, everybody. Thanks a lot.